I guarantee you right now that there's somebody less qualified than you, less able than you, less experienced than you, less able to create the transformation in the life of their client, and they're charging times 10 your current fees, and they are walking on cloud nine. They're working with their perfect type of client. Hey, what's up? This is Pete here, and in this video, I'm going to share exactly why you need to charge high value, specifically if you help to create a significant change and transformation in the life of your client, aka you help them to achieve the ultimate goal in the specific area that you specialize in. If that's you, stick around. If you're just starting out in your business, or you've been in business for 25 years, but you know you can charge more, this is going to be the video for you. However, before I get into it, I'm also deliberately and undeliberately, if that's even a word, filming this video imperfectly, and it relates to exactly what I'm going to say. Now, as you can see, I'm not using a real microphone today. Well, it is real, but it's my iPhone microphone. And the reason for it is because I've been away for a few days. I took my microphone with me. I got back to the office. I was all set to do my YouTube video. I reached out to my partner and I said, Jamie, I've forgotten to bring my microphone in. And she said, okay, well, what's the problem? I said, well, I can't do my YouTube video now because it's not going to be perfect. And she said, just use your iPhone microphone. And I said, I can't do that. This is YouTube. I've got to be showing up and everything's got to be spot on. The lighting's got to be good. The video's got to be great. And she said, isn't that what you teach? That actually what matters is your expertise. It's your framework. It's your methodology. It's you showing up as the go-to expert in what you do. That is what people are there for. And I said, oh my goodness, Jamie, you've just given me infinite wisdom and you've given me a great start to my YouTube video. Isn't this the reality? Before we get into the nuts and bolts of today's video and why you need to be charging at least times 3, write this down. You need to be charging times 3 to times 10, maybe even times 100 of what you are right now. Now that doesn't mean we need to be perfect. In fact, you can take imperfect action and you can still achieve the results that you want. And in actuality, your quest to be perfect is probably the one thing that's stopping you charging properly right now. And here it is because the real value in your business is not something outside of yourself. It is not in some marketing campaign that you haven't come up with. It's not in coming up with the perfect solution for your client. It's not in believing that you need some kind of coaching or mentoring. It's not in thinking that I haven't got the money right now. There's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of external factors, and we can point at any one of them and say, this is my limitation, this is why I can't charge properly. Now, don't get me wrong, if you legitimately can't create the transformation in the life of your client, then you probably want to build up some case studies and prove that you can do it. We can talk about that in another video because case studies are really important. But the reality is that if you are good at what you do, and I'm assuming you are, please let me know if you're good at what you do and you know you can create that change, then you're actually preventing yourself creating that change with your client on the basis that you're not charging enough. Because how do you actually create a transformation if you're undercharging? Undercharging is not just a disservice to your client, it's also a disservice to future you. It's also a disservice to you right now because you know that you should be creating this real change, not only for your client, but for yourself. And how will you feel when you show up and you know that you're charging thousands of pounds for what you do? But unfortunately, for whatever reason, I'm not going to get too deep into the psychology of it with this video, but we are going to unpack it slightly. From the moment we are born, we are told that empowerment and success is something outside of ourselves. I've already alluded to this slightly, that it can be a marketing campaign. It can be that you need some latest technology in your business. It can be that maybe I need a whole team behind me. It can literally be anything that you decide is stopping you from charging properly. But the reality is that the most valuable asset in your business is not something in your business. It's you. You, your uniqueness, your expertise, that is what the client should truly be paying for. Last week, I did a video on finding your unique methodology, but the first thing that I said is that your unique methodology is you. So this all links together, and all my videos from here on out are all going to closely link together in terms of how we're going to build this thing, because I've seen again and again and again over the years, like 20 years now, teaching sales, helping people to grow their business, that it's not complicated. It's not easy, but we do not need to go on this entire crazy life of, I haven't figured this out yet. How can you add value to a specific type of person? What's the one problem that you can solve for them? What are you best at? Now, I'm going to share a story with you that only happened to me a year ago. So get this, I'm in this journey too. I'm far from perfect. I've made a ton of mistakes throughout my career, and I believed that there are things outside of myself which are more powerful than me. I mean, it's scary when we realize that our deep expertise, and in today's market, that's what clients are paying for. They're paying to be with a trusted advisor, they're paying for your deep expertise, and here's the reality. There is nobody on this planet who can copy you. And when you position yourself that way in the marketplace, you become unstoppable. So you don't need to be like me, you don't need to be like somebody else that you may look up to, you don't need to be like somebody in your industry that you go, well, look, they've got it all figured out. What you need to be is you. But this is what my friend said to me just a year ago. We were going for a walk and he looked at me and he said, Pete, I love what you do and how you help people. He said, I don't understand though. He said, it seems like you're going down a bit of a route, and we were about a year ago as a business. He said, it just seems like you're people pleasing right now. I said, what do you mean? He said, you've got this whole team in place, you've got all these things that you're doing, you really go for it and make sure that everybody is happy. I said, well, isn't that business? He said, yeah, it kind of is. But he said, here's the thing. With your expertise and very specifically how deep you can go in terms of sales and sales transformation and building a business, he said, I would pay you £10,000 to sit in a garage with you for 2 days just to gain your insights, your wisdom, and for you to help me have a specific breakthrough in my personal journey. Now, the conversation at the time made sense, but I didn't realize that it'll be a conversation that I would go back to again and again and again on a daily basis for the next 6 months. And actually, it helped me to make some key decisions within my business, scale back some certain things, keep it simple, bring it all the way back to trusting my framework. If all else fails in your business, in your life, if everything went wrong, what is your expertise? How can you specifically help people? What are you the best in your industry at? It might not even be the best in your industry, but I'm talking the best within your community. What is the real change that you can create for your clients? Because that's the thing that you should be charging for. And if we get into the psychology of this, I want you to run through this exercise. Imagine that you sit down with all of your clients, because I know the fear that will be coming up here is that I would love to do this, Pete, but I've got all my clients and they're not high value. You don't find high value clients, you create them. They're already in your world, you're already serving them, but you haven't yet actually made the offer to them to work with you on a deeper level. So imagine this exercise that you sit down with every single one of your clients one-to-one. Maybe you've got 5 clients, maybe you've got 500. And you have a coffee with each of them and you follow this exact framework. You say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, it's been so great to help you over the last couple of years. I have loved working with you and I'm excited to let you know I'm actually going to be moving forward and taking the business in a slightly different direction where I can truly serve my clients on a deeper level and help them to create that real transformation in their life with their goals. Now, I appreciate this might be for you. It might not be for you. I personally feel the work that we've done so far that this could be a brilliant fit, but feel free to let me know either way. However, if we are going to be going on this transformation route, what it means is that we're going to be working together for say 3 to 6 months and we're looking at an investment of at least £500,000. I'm joking. We're looking somewhere between £3,000 to maybe £5,000. Now, if that sounds interesting to you and you want to find out more, I am more than open to have the discussion with you. Once again, no pressure. Either way, let me know if it's a yes or no, and it's completely cool with me. You see, what have we just done there? We've had an open conversation with the client. We've been upfront, we've told them the direction we're taking the business in, and on top of that, we've set the boundaries. Now, for this fun exercise, I don't actually want you to do it with your real clients, I want you to do it in your mind. Imagine that you let all of your clients know that this is the direction you're taking the business in, and they all scream at you and say, how dare you? How dare you take your business in that direction? And they all storm out after shouting that they have been paying you for years, and now you want to charge them thousands of pounds. And then you're sitting there and you've got no clients. Now, I'd imagine initially you might think overwhelmed. Oh my goodness, what have I done? I've just totally self-sabotaged my entire business. I'm going to fail. But then give it some time, trust the process. After 10 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, how do you feel now? I believe that you'll feel good. And the reason why I say this is because now with a clean slate, guess what? You can position yourself as that high value expert. And you know the next client that walks in the door, they're going to be ready to invest thousands of pounds to work with you. And doing the maths very quickly here, let's say you're working with clients at say £5,000. You only need 3 clients a month and you're earning £15,000 a month. Now, there's absolutely no right or wrong here, but doing the quick maths, charging £50 per client, you need hundreds of clients per month just to make that £15,000. Would you prefer to work with hundreds of clients or would you prefer to work with 3? It's entirely up to you. Now, I'm not asking you to go out tomorrow and charge £5,000. Of course, there is some work to do here, and we need to make sure that you're truly trusting the most valuable asset in your business, which is you. But I need you to know this loud and clear. The value is not in anything external. Even I reacted today and I thought the value is in my microphone. And it took for my partner to say, no, it's not. It's in you. You get on that YouTube video, you plug your iPhone headphones in and you make it happen. And here I am now. And actually, as I'm doing this video, I'm realizing it was the best decision that I've made today. You can do the same too. This does not excuse us to do poor consultations. This does not excuse us to take shortcuts in our business. But the reality is the value is not outside of you. It is you, your expertise, your unique way of helping your clients. So you might be still wondering, this is all great, Pete, it makes perfect sense, but what's the psychology of why somebody would invest more money and why I specifically should charge high value? Well, there's loads of reasons and I'll unpack these reasons within this YouTube channel, but let's get into a few of the core reasons right now. When you think about energy and selling a product, it takes the same energy to sell something for £300 as it does £3,000. It's just a conversation. It's just asking the client a number of questions. It's asking them about their goals. And then from there, it's stating it's going to be this amount. But the difference is, and most people don't realize this, where it becomes easier to sell at £3,000 as opposed to £300 is that at £300, the client won't really see the value because they're thinking to themselves, this is going to change everything for me and it's going to help me achieve X, Y, and Z. And I get all of that for £300. Can you tell me more about it? So the client is actually going to start questioning you more and start doubting that what you've got for them will even work. However, at £3,000, we make an automatic assumption this is expensive, so therefore expensive equals good. Remember, when clients pay more, they experience more, so they get more of the wholeness of the situation. Think about it this way, if you pay £50 to stay in a hotel overnight, you're probably just happy that you've got a roof over your head and you've got a bed. You don't care about the quality of the shower, you don't care too much if the bed has got a great mattress, you just kind of roll with it. However, imagine that you pay £1,000 for a night in a hotel. Now you pay attention to everything. You pay attention to the meet and greet at reception, the butler, what the lift is like. You think to yourself, wow, this is fancy. It's got a minibar. I wonder if I can afford anything in the minibar. You start to pay attention of the tiny little details of the linen, the curtains, everything becomes an experience. So if you want your clients to have a real experience with you and to ultimately love that experience, then you need to charge properly for that experience. And let's make this more specific to being an expert in your field. Imagine that you're going to pay someone 500 quid and for that money they're going to help you achieve an ultimate goal. You're probably not going to be that excited about it. You'll think to yourself, hold on a second, what's the catch? Only £500? Is there something else that they're going to sell me? Or it's going to be quite transactional that, okay, I'll go and see what it's all about. However, even if you decide at the time that it's not right for you, if you come across somebody else who's say charging £5,000, you automatically qualify them in your mind. They're charging a lot of money. They must be good at what they do. This is yet another reason why we'll ask less questions about them. And actually, we're going to be selling to them while we're good enough to be a client to actually be in their world. Ferrari, whether you like the brand or not, there is one thing that I love about them. And that is when you walk into a Ferrari garage, you almost have to prove why you are worthy to own a Ferrari. There's actually situations where Ferrari have recalled a car back from somebody because they decided to wrap it in bright pink or they decided to make it their own. And Ferrari said, no. In order for you to drive a Ferrari, there is a certain standard. That is what you call an aspirational brand. In fact, we all have aspirational brands. It might be a certain car that you want to buy when you achieve a certain income in your life. It might be a holiday that you take your family on. It might be some clothes. It might be the fact that you decide, hey, I want the freedom to take a month off in the forest every year and purely live in a tent. We've all got aspirational brands, aspirations that we want to achieve in our life. It is fundamental that if you are going to be a go-to expert in what you do, which I'm sure you are already, but you're probably just not charging properly for it yet, then you need to be an aspirational brand. I am transparent with all of my clients. When they sit down with me initially, I am upfront that I am not the cheapest in the industry, and I actually am bold enough to say, why do you want to pay me all of this money? I need the client to share their excitement, that they totally get it, that they understand my methodology, because if they question any of those things, or they're not even sure of how I work. For example, I had a meeting last year, and one of the first questions I asked in the meeting was that, are you aware of the methodology that I use to help clients transform their sales? The business owner looked at me and said, no, I have no idea. And at that time, I had to stop the meeting, because I need people that are completely bought in. So I pointed him in a different direction. I said, go through this first. It's a 30-minute video. It's going to explain my methodology. However, what I've learned over the years, because I'm charging properly for what I do and I don't hold back on that, I need people to be on board and excited 100% to work with me. Can you start to see how charging properly puts all the odds in your favor? No longer are you selling to the client. You're no longer needy for the sale, because clients can sniff desperation, they can sniff that neediness, and it's actually a huge turnoff when it comes to working with someone. Again, I'm not saying go out tomorrow and charge thousands of pounds if you're not confident that you can create that transformation in the life of your client. But I've got a sneaky feeling that you're watching this video right now and you're thinking to yourself, I am good at what I do. I know I need to go out there and get the evidence. I know I should be charging properly, and I'm just holding back. I encourage you to state your position, be clear with the client, be upfront. Let clients know. You do not need to force them to buy. In fact, do the opposite. Say, hey, this is the direction I'm going in. It might be for you, it might not be for you, but I truly want to help to create a real transformation, a significant change for my clients. That does mean that you're going to be investing more money if we work together, and I'm only going to be working with a few clients like this every single month. If you want to have that discussion, I'm more than open to it. Just let me know. Either way is cool with me. Can you hear that calm, that confidence? Because when you're only having to sell 3-4 times a month, and by the way, you're not even the one doing the selling, your client is the one selling to you why they should work with you, the whole energy changes. Your business is so much about your energy. You know that you can create a bigger change, because if someone paid you £10,000 tomorrow, what outcomes could you help them to achieve? What sort of life will they be living as a result of working with you? But when you're chasing the next £50 sale and then the next £200 sale, and then having to think about, oh my goodness, I've got to make at least £2,000 next month, I've got to sell this £80 thing again and again and again, that is what leads to burnout. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of business mentors and coaches out there which will be jumping up and down saying this is the total opposite advice of what should be happening. They'll be saying start nice and low. Start with your prices at £50, start low value, and then build your way up. But the problem with that is that it creates an addiction to just getting the money in. I've met hundreds of business owners over the years who are stuck on the hamster wheel. And the simple fact is that they are not breaking through and charging ×3 to even ×100. I guarantee you right now that there is somebody less qualified than you, less able than you, less experienced than you, less able to create the transformation in the life of their client, and they're charging ×10 your current fees, and they are walking on cloud 9. They're working with their perfect type of client. And this is the final thing I want to say for this video. Your job is not to sell to everyone. Your job is to actually exclude selling to 99% and focusing on 1% of the exact right type of client. And the best way that we can do that is to charge properly for our expertise. Because the moment you're offering that transformation and charging thousands of pounds for it, guess what? It's only going to be right for a very small percentage of people. And that is a good thing, because that very small percentage, you'll be amazed there's a lot of those kinds of people. So thank you so much for tuning in today. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, what are you doing? You sat here through a whole video, hit the subscribe button. Let me know how you get on below. And remember, it is time to charge properly for your expertise.